Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. So, of course, Tottenham Hotspur beat Brentford 3-1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Goals from Solanke, Johnson and James Maddison. Spurs are now up to 10th in the Premier League table. Now, this is a new edition of Spurs Around the World. We'll be hearing from a number of Spurs fans dotted all around the world, hearing their thoughts on the game. Spurs 3, Brentford 1. Now, if you would like to get involved in a future episode and you are an international fan, please do get in touch. It is tottenhamfanchris@gmail.com. I hope you enjoy this.
Hey Chris, it's Terry from New York, just checking in after the Brentford game. My big takeaway from the game was that it was just really nice to see us actually taking shots and not just trying to walk the ball into the net. It's interesting that in the past few games, we've had so much possession, but just really haven't seen like any type of threat to score at all. Yet today, we only had 48% possession, but still had 23 shots, 10 on target, and could have easily scored 5 or 6. The positives for me have to start with the midfield. Wow, what a performance. Both Bentancur and Maddison, I feel like, put in midfield general type of performances today, both defensively with their interceptions and their passing, and offensively with their runs and their creativity. Kulusevski, I think it's hard to argue that he isn't our brightest and probably most informed player at the moment. Up front, Solanke looks like the rust is starting to wear off a bit. And then Brennan Johnson, how could you not be happy for that guy? My favorite moment of the game was Romero's pass to Son that set up the Matters goal. If you look at the angle of his pass, the vision in the pass itself, just an absolute thing of beauty. My one concern from today is with Son and his decisiveness. He just seems very indecisive. There's just far too many times where I feel like the forward momentum of the play seems to die when the ball gets to Son's feet. He just isn't attacking the shot or attacking the pass with the same instinctiveness that he used to. I'm hoping that's just a confidence issue and something that wears off pretty soon. Just overall, it's just really nice to see smiles back on the players' faces and the fans' faces. Let's keep this momentum going for Carabag on Thursday. Come on, you Spurs.
Hi Chris, hi Spurs fans, I'm Matias, from the Supporters Club in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I'm really happy with the win, enjoyed a lot the match. Madison performance, Madison was the best player of the game and I think one of his best performances in the Spurs shirt. Really like to see Brennan and Solanke getting involved in both of their goals. Great match from the team. I think it was tricky or scary being with only one goal of difference for much of the game, but that third goal with Bissouma, then Romero, then Sonny and Mathers was incredible to close the game and to get back in track in the Prem with another win, winning at home again. And now a big challenge that is coming next Sunday against Man United in Old Trafford. So great to see the team performing well, playing the way Ange wants to play, and also to be back with a great performance from James Maddison, from Rodrigo Bentancur. I also pretty like his way he played an hour of the game. Solanke, Brennan Johnson, all. I really enjoyed the game, and come on, you Spurs.
Hi Chris, I'm David Chung from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I'm a Spurs fan since '82. have some excellent memory of the Spurs game, the 1-1 draw at Nou Camp, the Hurricane halfway line goals against Juventus and Singapore pre-season, and the last two matches that I watched for Spurs against Leicester, followed by a 1-0 draw against Liverpool at Anfield. So my thoughts on the game yesterday, 3-1, a typical Tottenham game, trailing by 1 goal within 30 seconds. Fortunately, we play well for the next 30 minutes to lead by 2-1. Goal by Solanke and a great goal by Johnson. The game was evenly matched after that, but thanks to some crazy action from Vicario, we got lucky that VAR didn't get involved. Otherwise, it could have been red card and the scoreline would have been different. But at the end of the day, the three captains combined for the third goal and everything's good. Come on, you Spurs.
Good day everyone, this is Teslim from Not London Narratives. My thoughts on the game against Brentford. I think we played a good game. I think we saw some things, but I still think there's room for improvement. I still think the attackers need to be more clinical. I still think they need to learn how to take on a man better. And I still think there are facets of our game that we need to improve and quickly, because we've had a start obviously not as good as last season. And as we saw in the games against Coventry and before the game, or when we went 1-0 down, the fans are quite fickle, and if we don't start getting results, the fans won't have anything to back the manager with. So the manager and the team need to give the fans something to back, and we need to improve fast. Our wingers need to learn how to take on their man better, and we just need to be the Tottenham Hotspur that Ange has been saying we could be. Like, I still believe that we can finish the season good, but we need to improve it a lot. I remember the season, I'm sorry for the background noise, but I remember the season where Arsenal had a bad start. We were top of the table and they were bottom of the table. I think that season we still narrowly finished fourth above them. So we can still make up for some of our mistakes this season. We just need to improve, and hopefully the young players develop as fast as the recruitment team and the manager believes they can. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Hi there, Chris, and hi to all Spurs fans from around the world. My name is Nahdi Abbas. I'm from Jakarta, Indonesia. Originally was born and raised in London, in northwest London, in Hendon. And I'm a member of the Spurs, Indonesian official Spurs supporters club. Commenting on yesterday's game, I think it showed glimpses of how we can play when we've got time on the ball and we move quickly, like we did in the first 10 games last year, and subsequently other games where we managed to impose our style of play. I think maybe what's frustrating is that we created so many more opportunities than we actually converted. And I think it's against teams that do the low block that we have to figure out how we can actually create space and get away shots so that we can take advantage of the situations that we create. Yesterday was a great morale booster, especially after the break. So, hoping for all the best in the coming games. Come on, you Spurs.
I'm Eduardo. I'm from Spain, and I am one of the few Spanish fans of the Spurs. My thoughts towards the match of yesterday against Brentford, it's complex. By one side, I think it's good to finally win and convince. That's very important, especially at home. But at the same time, I don't like the fact that our defense allow a goal very good goal, a great goal, a good finishing, but at the first minute that was terrible. The forwards, Brennan, Johnson, Solanke, Song, I think Mathers, they were all great. For that part, I'm very glad. But where I still having doubts, apart the obvious of defense, it's on the midfield, where I think even Bentancur was not bad. There is a chance for improvement. I think that Gray, Archie, and especially Bergwall, they should play more. They should have more chances and entering the field earlier. Probably start more matches. I don't like Gray in the defense. I prefer him in the midfield. I think it's much more better there, and they are the future, and we should start to developing them, giving opportunities when our starters are playing bad. And by the other side, I'm glad because at the end of the match was Mike Moore the one who entered and not Timo Werner. I think Moore should start, at least should be in a higher position in the rotation and in the team than Timo Werner, especially after a terrible match against a championship team. And I think that will be my biggest thoughts. And come on, Spurs.
Hi guys, this is Simone dell'Uomo from Italy for Piscolin. Good win actually against Brentford. Great 3 points to give some points back to the club after what's been since now quite a very poor start of the season. Very good performances all over the pitch. Bentancur played quite well. Brennan Johnson, what a week. Delighted for Solanke to get off the mark. In this case, we need to admit that the substitutions were good. Sarr provides so much balance to the team, and Neves Bissouma as well. What a tackle to provide the platform for the 3-1 that killed the game. 3-1 that was as well a sort of relief for the crowd as well. And mainly clearly delighted for Mathers. What a performance. Finally back at his best. Iconic is a celebration to show everyone how much he feels about he cares about the club, about the badge. But as well, we need to underline, we need to stress once again the same mistakes, not just on set pieces, but in defensive transitions, in terms of reading the zone, reading when it's time to mark man-to-man. Many issues, many defensive troubles, many defensive mistakes, and need to fix these kind of things, because if you don't fix this kind of stuff, you can beat Brentford, but we will never beat top teams in Premier League.
Hi Chris from Dublin, Ireland. Yesterday's game was terrific, and it was great to see Dominic Solanke on the score sheet. He's a great striker, and that was a striker's goal. Very Gary Lineker-esque. The rebound, just hovering in the box, and that's what we want to see. We want to see players like that, who we've paid a lot of money for, repay that. And Dominic Solanke is not just one for the present, he's one for the future as well, and I wish him all the best. And then Brennan Johnson as well. He had a difficult couple of weeks. We know about his social media and some of the abuse he was getting. We don't want that in our club. We want people to stay positive and look at the positives, because there's many of them, and he is one at the moment. There was also question marks: is he prolific or not? And we'll have to wait 15 or 16 games, see if he can keep continuing to do that. But let's hope he can. That was a great goal yesterday, and the one against Coventry as well. So there's lots to look forward to. Vicario, look, I don't know. It's just he's flapping a little bit at the ball these days, making a couple of errors. Hopefully he can cut that out of his game, because he's a great shot stopper. But a 3-1 victory against Brentford is a good result, and we move on to United.
Hi Chris, it's Gareth here from Ireland. Just absolutely delighted with history's performance against Brentford. We obviously spoke about it quite a lot during the weekend. We felt it was a must-win game, and I'm absolutely over the moon for Ange and the boys, because I do think some of the criticism has been harsh on the players and the manager. All in the Coventry game, I don't think we've played badly at all. Yes, we can play better, but I thought yesterday was quite a good representation of where we were, and whilst we weren't as clinical as we probably should have been, we were clinical enough to score 3 goals. And that we were by far the better team in the game for large spells of it. So absolutely delighted for Solanke to get off the mark. Madison as well. I think that's a big goal for him because he's been under pressure. And Johnson is another player that's had a great week after some unfair criticism. But back-to-back ones, and let's go on the Quarabag now on Thursday night. Another home game you would expect us to win, and that sets us up nicely to go to Old Trafford next week, who, let's be honest, Man United have a lot of negativity around them as well, so that's a winnable game for Spurs and Ange. And if we come out of the next week with a couple of more back-to-back ones, I think we'll see the majority of the fan base back on side with the team and the manager and the club. So Chris, thanks for having me on. Wish you all the best, and come on you Spurs.
Hey Chris, thank you for the opportunity. Well, after conceding an early goal, we certainly did well from there. We dominated in the midfield with Madison, Bentancur, Kulusevski playing a huge role. We overran them in midfield. Quick ball, one-touch passing. We looked really, really good in the midfield. And then, it was all... The impressive thing for me is there wasn't backwards football. There wasn't the slow build-up that we've seen in previous games. It was quick, one-touch stuff. Get it forward, and the guys in the front didn't disappoint, with Solanke. Fantastic to see him scoring his first goal for the club, and we hope there's many more to follow. And then, of course, Brendan Johnson showing great character, scoring 2 goals in the week, and it was fantastic from him to answer his critics in emphatic style. So that was good to see. And then, of course, Matters rounding it off and just giving us that cushion just towards the end. That was fantastic. He showed great composure to chip it over the keeper. Really well taken goal. And then, of course, Sonny, we've spoken a lot about Sonny, or there's been a lot said about Sonny. But Sonny came in with 2 assists, 2 vital assists. And, all he needs now is a goal to get him going. But it's really an impressive performance, by far the best performance of the season so far. And, we hope we can build on this. 2 big games coming up, 1 Europa League on Thursday against Qarabag, and then, of course, Man United next Sunday. So those are going to be 2 vital games. But we believe that it's onward and upward from here. And come on, you Spurs.
Hi Chris, Neal here, Spurs fan living in Porto. I thought the game against Brentford yesterday was a significant improvement compared to the Coventry game, although different personnel. We responded really well to going one down so early. Excellent goal from Mbeumo. Defending, marking was definitely questionable. However, the response was very, very encouraging. Players stepped up positively and were relentless in seeking the equaliser and the subsequent goals. I'm still very much concerned with our inability to defend as a unit. We were exposed on too many occasions. Perhaps if Brentford didn't have so many injuries, it could have been a different outcome. There seems to be too much reliance on Romero and van der Ven to nullify threats. I think that's unfair on them, and I don't think it'll work in the Premier League. Porro and Udogie are wasted in the inverted wing-back roles. Yes, they are quality players and draw moments of brilliance, but I think they can be deployed more effectively. We lost our way in the second half, where Brentford took control of the game and we resorted to counter-attacking football. I'm not sure why. We got very lucky with Vicario. That was definitely a handball outside the box. Yes, it's a very welcome win, but I'm still not convinced. I don't think we are set up to perform in all departments coherently and consistently. Very happy to be proved wrong. The jury is still out for me. I think the run of games through to the end of October will give us a clearer picture as to the trajectory we're headed this season. Either way, we get behind the team. Come on, you Spurs.
Well, I think we finally saw what we've been hoping to see, an amazing performance going forward. Really, really just relentless at times. To go down a goal that early after 20 seconds and then bounce back like we did. I think one of the criticisms that I'd have of the team under Ange is that we don't handle setbacks very well. We haven't handled setbacks very well. But to bounce back from that, and in the next 10 minutes, I think we had about 10 shots, including Solanke's goal. So it was amazing to see that real just get on with it. Who cares about that goal? Let's just get on with it and go and win this game. The first half was just so exciting to watch. Second half was a little bit more kind of all over the place at times. I think Brentford, they played very well, to be fair, gave us a lot of problems. Vicario had a weird game, kind of manic at times, but made two huge saves at 2-1. I think Madison was unplayable at times. Doggy getting back to his best. I think it was probably his best game of the season easily. Solanke looks good up front. Sonny, more to come from him, yet he's still got 2 assists and created a load of other chances. So I think overall a really good team performance and a good sign of things to come. I do think still over the next probably 6 weeks or so, there's going to be some more bumps before it really clicks into gear in November. So I think it's just a matter of, riding those bumps out, staying patient. I think we can all see that when it works, it really works. It looks great. So it's just having that patience to see out those bumps. I think having a bit of a negative week after Arsenal, with a lot of complaining online. Obviously, Coventry was a really poor performance, but got the win. But to watch it from afar and see the fans really getting behind the team and behind Ange, I thought that was a really good sign. And of course, behind Brennan Johnson as well. That was really nice to see. So I think the majority of us are on board with this as a long-term project. And as I say, when it works, it works. So let's just stay patient, see it out, and enjoy what's to come.
Hey Chris, thanks for inviting me on your channel again. It's Kimberley, I'm from Melbourne, Australia, and in Spurs. And I'm so buzzed, may I say, after the Brentford win. To think that 23 seconds in we conceded was very scary, as prior games when we concede takes a little bit for us to kick into gear, but this is the most exciting match of the season so far. Still early, and our 3 goal scorers had individual reasons that they scored, and it meant so much more. I'm sentimental. Solanke's first goal. Brennan scored twice in a week after deactivating his Instagram for online trolls. Kind of showed everyone. And Madison, who hadn't scored since August last season. It clearly meant so much to him, so I'm so pleased. Vicario scared me a little bit. I think he was a bit lucky, but thankfully also his reflexes saved us many times. I'm so pleased. Trust in Ange. Come on, you Spurs.
Hi, my name's Blake from Perth, Australia, and I'd like to give my thoughts on today's game between Brentford and Spurs. It was a good game, deserved win, lucky in parts. They still need to improve a lot on defence personally and attack. Vicario was very, very lucky. Should have been sent off for handballing outside the box. Got away with that one. But then last week's game weren't a goal by Arsenal. It was a foul. But anyway, move on. In my opinion, they're struggling in the forward sense. Sonny's not himself this year. He's playing at about 60%. I don't know why. He seems to be out of sorts a bit. Maybe a game or two's rest might help him and rediscover his form, but I think he needs to be left out a bit because he's not quite leading the team that well. Football's all about, most importantly, first touch. His first touch has been very poor this year. I was glad Brennan Johnson scored today again. He deserves it. In my opinion, I don't know what all the criticism's about. I think he's been playing very well this year, a lot better than most of our wingers that we've had. Creates a lot. Solanke, good to get his goal, but he still needs to do more. In parts, watching the game, he's seems to be standing behind players and hiding himself rather than getting in front of them and attacking the ball and doing a lot. Running around a lot, but not doing much in the final third. Madison, fantastic again. Playing deeper actually suits him, and that should be his position. Him and Bentancur in there together. Kulusevski had a good game. Still being left short at the back. Udogie needs to do a bit more. But Vicario had a shocker today, but we got away with it. Anyway, move on. Next week, another game. Let's get another 3 points. Come on, you Spurs.
Hey Chris, it's Melvyn from Malta. I'm here at the beach on Sunday recording a video for you. talking about yesterday's 3-1 win against Brentford. Happy with the performance, 3 goals. Solanke, Johnson, Madison, 2 assists for Sonny. Overall happy with, Bentancur, Kulusevski, Udogi played well, Vicario. Overall improvements. We haven't really played much different than the other 4 games of the season. Just we took our chances, scored our goals. I think we'll continue the same way this season and keep playing the same way. I'm just happy with Postecoglou and the whole team in general. I know it's still quite young and raw, and there still needs to be a lot of improvement, but I think we're heading in the right direction, and I'm happy with the start, even though we dropped points where we should have won. But these things happen in football, they happen in Premier League. I think we'll win games where we don't deserve to win, and we'll lose games where we don't deserve to lose. It's part of football, and it's part of the Premier League. I mean, we've seen it for years. But overall, happy with the result, 3 points, and we'll move on to the next one. Bye.
Hi, it's Craig from England here, giving you my thoughts on the Spurs-Brentford game. I thought it was a great performance all round. Excellent, in fact, across the board. I thought every player stepped up and done their job, and every player looked better than they did the last couple of weeks. The fast passing was back, the movement, everything. I just thought it was fantastic. The Mbeumo goal was a bit of a freak goal. I wasn't that concerned, actually, even though it went in the first minute. I thought we battled back well, dominated the game. Brentford just couldn't live with us. I thought it was brilliant to see Madison back to his best. When you actually look at some of the passes he played and the influence he had on the game, he was just phenomenal. Seeing Kulusevski in the midfield in there with him and Bentancur, I thought was a really, really good balance. So pleased for Johnson getting his 2nd goal in a week. I thought Sonny played well, captained the team well today. And also, just brilliant for Solanke to get his debut goal. The back 4 looked good. Vicario had some dodgy moments, but he backed that up by actually producing some very, very good saves. You may well dominate a game, but you're always going to concede a couple of chances, and the ones he had to deal with, the shots they had on target, I thought he did excellently, especially a save in the second half to his right, dived almost full length for the goal to stop it going in. So all in all, very, very pleased. I think it's very encouraging to get this win going into the Carabao fixture on Thursday. I think it's important. Hopefully we can push on now. Hopefully that's the moment in our season where everything changes. We've got to trust this process, trust in Ange, because it showed yesterday when it works, it works.